Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the late delay. My name is Sino. I'll be doing everything behind the screens and the shades today. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. I know I am. But without further ado, let's get straight into the action. I don't want to waste your time. I know you guys want to get straight into the game. And without further ado, it will be Skyscraper that'll be on the board for today. So let's take a look. I mean, both teams historically, they have an idea of what they want to do. Skyscraper is the best out of one series in the group stage as well, which means both teams had to have banned an equal amount of maps to be able to head on to this decider. So it's all about how they want to play. Can they coordinate? Can they lock in? And can they push for that final half to be able to call themselves victorious and grab the points needed from this matchup? You'll recognize names from either side. You'll have Masjid, I mean, the man who turned SWL in the wintertime to an absolute playground with Legion, Shotgun, and playoffs on Sky. And the other man who decided that it would be good to play most Monty in Clash, and it'll be Masamitsu, as he is one of the most egregious shield ops I've ever seen in my life. Pax, consistent player when it comes with using the ACOGs. Dry, a player who can flex upon the PC and the console scene, and Adexia, a well-known tournament player. Now, both teams, very well-known names on either side, and I feel like it will be a very, very exciting lineup for us today. We'll have 619 defending first, and for some reason my HUD decided to start messing with me as it looks straight like a potato. There we go. Should be better. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, so much to do on this map. You have to be able to address it due to its close range. You need to be able to address areas like Terrace and Shrine mainly, because these are the two rooms. Although separated by one soft wall, it is the key to either accessing Exhibition or Tea Room, depending on which site you are trying to attack or which area of the map you are trying to possess. It's so important to be able to coordinate to take this space. And the question is Synergy going to be able to be in their own righteous mindset to be able to step up to that task? So much to be done again, and it's always about those early impressions. In most leagues, we're still in the group stages. We just had Kai Knight finish 2 days ago, so that's grand finals done for one league. The playoffs haven't started for any other major league that I know, and now we get to just relax and watch both teams as they try to build up a repertoire for their future in the Champions League. First blood, Masamitsu getting really aggressive here. He looks like he just wants to get matters done with, and he will find Legion Shoddy Superstar. That'll be Master to find his maker first. Masamitsu down to 50 HP, as now he'll be left all by himself, stunning himself. A quick reset. He's found first blood 40 seconds into the round, and it's a good reset. You're allowed to just take your time now. You can take your time. Question is, what are you going to be able to do to try and address this site head on? So much left to do, and I mean, the site setup, we're not shooting out the drums. We haven't made any major verticality talks or shots in this area, which kind of is concerning. But Kijitsu is going to reel it right back into his teams. Quick refrag puts it back at level, and it'll be Dry to go down and trade. You've now lost your ace for your Goyo. Blackbeard allowed on the board after Dokkaebi and Monty were the bans, meaning a lot of interesting plays, especially with the pressure he can add on, is going to be seen. Twitch being is going to be prioritized. This is going to be interesting interested. Oh my god, I apologize. It's gonna be interesting to see the quality of this attack. Lidocaine shot out instantly by the Echo, and now Adexi is granted access into the site. They've given him that key card, and it's called the R4C, as he is now in. Masamitsu soon to follow. The question is, can you rid of the pressure coming in from Geisha? Because if you make that one fatal mistake, Kijitsu will be there to be able to punish you for everything that you make. Bobby, a little bit of a whiff, traces the outline of the man swinging off the black balcony and sells a very easy kill, but still has 100 HP and a minute left in the round to be able to try and redeem himself. Masamitsu utilizing those boogie drones for quick entry yet again. I mean, Ram, very fast but slower and has higher armor. Masamitsu unaware that now he has the site opened up. The comm goes through, and now full access into karaoke is going to be the name of the game, while these two defenders are left all by themselves to try and address this plant. You could have swung Vipex, you could have tried to go in below, but now you're going to use your C4 in a half-assed way. Well, it's a 3v2 when you only have so many seconds left on the clock. You've now tried to become the attackers, and the clock has flipped against you as Pax and Adexi team up to find two, and that'll be the first round in the favor of Synergy. Played out quite interesting here. Synergy, I mean, that first opening pick was enough for me to say they want that map control. They want what it takes to be able to reel it on in and capitalize play after play, and those last couple of seconds really solidified that gameplay. They'll be retrying that site, and hopefully Tea Room and Karaoke is going to look a little bit better now. Maybe some extensions into Exhibition or Offices, because that is usually the name of the game when it comes to playing on this map. It's only 2 floors. There's verticality, and there's some areas where you cannot reach from below. So you have to be able to manipulate it to your liking. But right now, we didn't see that. Masamitsu took care of the only man who was roaming, and he was soft roaming near that minibar. And it just becomes a problem when you have a singular roamer for a 2-floored map. I did forget to add the organizations like an idiot because I was getting trolled by these teams. I mean, we started 15 minutes late. I'm not very happy, but this is going to be 7 days Synergy versus Wild Boys 619. Now, focusing again, they are going to continue and bring that Blackbeard. I mean, you guys were lucky last round. It was only Lidocaine who was using that Blackbeard, and now you're going to have to deal with the full force of a man who knows exactly how to use him perfectly. Masamitsu, dressed up as the Undertaker, as he will take you to the underworld anytime you try to swing him, but you're forced to back up due to that Vulcan. But somehow, Masjed wins it off of the tick of the damage. It moves the shield temporarily out of Masamitsu's face, and that is enough time for him to be able to capitalize. The ACP straight to the dome, and that'll be first blood. That'll be Lido finally. You were the first pick last time for your team, but you managed to reel it back in. I mean, history repeats itself, but just in an opposite way. Last time was Masa onto Masjad, but now it's the opposite as he lives another day and tries to terrorize anybody who walked into his crosshairs. Minute 45 left on the clock, and now a little bit of a reset is going to be in hand here because you need to set up Geisha. One wall is soft, you don't even have the head holes, and no form of passiveness is going to be seen. Lidocaine looking to address drums, but Pax opens it up and absolutely lethal. He's a silent and lethal player. I mean, always a pleasure to see him. He's outside with 90 seconds left on the clock, and he's managed to find himself a pick. It's all about the time, and him and Adexi, 2 peas in a pod that will destroy anything that walks into their crosshairs. Not able to capitalize on the man swinging, and now you're going to have to deal with the pressure coming in from Geisha and the man waiting to take care of you from the tier room. 2 defenders, 100 HP apiece, and Kit has a 100% stim in his pocket. Anybody who gets in his crosshairs will not be able to walk away victorious unless they hit a headshot. As you can see, he only took 5 ticks of damage, but that's enough for him to go for a reset. A little bit of a whiff on the drone. 49 seconds left. It's going to be a 1v2. Masjad really locks in. Fna gives away the position of Adex, and he puts himself in a little bit of a tricky spot, but now an easy soft breach into Geisha makes this very realistic. Kijitsu, a little bit of a different spot. They need to be able to isolate the 1v1. The defenders, the main idea here is to allow yourself to make it a 2v1. All Adexi is going to try to do here is try to isolate these ones and make it as easy as possible now that he's out of stuns and he's lost some HP. It's all about isolating. The kit is loose, and you need to be able to find each and every pick in the easiest way possible. Especially when they're watching the crosses. You're unaware of this, and Kit Jitsu really finds you from that corner and punishes, and that'll be a response from 619. Exhibition, the next site after you check off the classic karaoke and T. The question is, can you win this one on your first try? You got it wrong the first, but it's all about learning from your mistakes, and 619 walk out victorious after learning for what they did wrong. But now they're going to be tasked with holding one of the more difficult sites on this map, because now you're going to have to be able to address drums and the shrine area, and it's mandatory. You need to bring in a zombie. You need to bring a castle, and we're not seeing either of those. Maybe because we're in the console scene, sometimes plays will get mixed up instead for a man who brings a gun. Goyo is a beautiful operator in terms of denial, especially when you see that shield op consistently. But again, is he more valuable than in a zombie? Is he more valuable than bringing a castle when you're just soft breaching it? But yet again, that's a question also for the doc. Because, I mean, yes, he has an ACOG, yes, he gives you stims, but there's so many better alternatives to be able to offer the support your team needs to be able to prevail victorious. Geisha first on the chopping block as they look to clear Geisha first, and then probably advance on towards the drums area, taking their sweet old time. Masamitsu first on in and will take care of Kit's health, but that's one stim managed out, and that will be a quick rotate onto the overhang from Mezzanine. C4 ripping on out, but it's all about timing it correctly as you'll find two! Vipex up for the task and will capitalize indeed. Two essential bodies. Mesjad makes it 3, and now the deficit has grown to an undeniable lead for 619. The question is, can Synergy reel it back in? So much left to do in this round now that you've lost so much crucial operator utility. And now Goyo, with a very smart and easy rotate, allows himself to go receive a stim if he can access, but he impacts into the black window, unaware of the Goyo he had placed there once before, and will fall. That's an easy refrag in the terms of you don't know where the hell you're going. And 2 bodies for the 4 left on the clock, but Vipex with a quad kill destroys anything and anyone who walks into his crosshairs, regardless of a C4, regardless of a shotgun. And let's take a look at that one more time. It's just barbecue chicken from there, directly on their feet, and that's 2 to be able to decide the round. 619 grabbed the lead for the first time this series. It's only one map. You only have maximum 15 rounds to be able to capitalize on your plays. If it runs out in regulation, it'll be 12 rounds. It'll be 11. It'll be the first to 7. The question is, who's going to get there first? 619 really showing us some fighting effort, but you have to take into account they are on defense first. That's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be addressed, and right now their main focus should be building upon the momentum they've built up in the last 2 rounds and trying to carry that to the halftime and then eventually into the post-half break. So much left to do. So much things that you can capitalize upon. The question is, 619, are you here to capitalize on them? Because Synergy, if you give them a little thread, if you give them a particle of a thread, they're going to pull on it until there's nothing left below your feet except a loss. Masamitsu first in the building yet again. Now you got to be careful. The floor is lava at this point with the way you fell to those C4s. Vipex capitalizing upon the fact that Masamitsu aimed head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Kit, 2 stims to be distributed, but apparently not, as Vipex is in the site and Kitjitsu is just not there to be able to stim. Selfish Dockman, if I do say so myself. But 1 body advantage. You've lost your shield op 2 rounds in a row now, and I feel like maybe Lidocane's a better shield op at this point. Lidocaine on the front lines of trying to deal with the office damage and the geisha pressure. Now, the phantom pressure of just having head holes as well. You don't know where Warden's gonna swing, but just knowing the fact that these areas are open, knowing the fact that there's so many areas you need to hold, it becomes a problem because now you don't know what to hold. You're too late to the reaction, and now you're gonna just gift Bastia 2 kills. One of them is from the scarcity of trying to look through 2 holes at once, and the second is just gonna be Pax forgot his headset at home. 2 bodies, and it looks like they're about to run away with the lead as a missed stim will reset him. The kit goes loose and 90 seconds remain on the clock, where Dry hasn't been able to capitalize on a single pick, and Adexi is left to address 4 bodies left in such a short amount of time. At least it's a short amount of time when you're trying to address the site head on with no case. That Black Mirror, there's no Ash, and there wasn't going to be, regardless of who would be left alive in this situation. That's going to be a problem for being able to deal with that defensive utility, especially on a map like Skyscraper. We're not on that Siege X engine yet. I know I was streaming OEC earlier today and we were on Siege X, but that's not the case. You don't have 3 bans, and right now, you use the defensive bans on Vigil. The question is Vigil more important than Mira? Surprisingly, Azami remains on the board. And it's just problem after problem when we talk about the bans. And the rat play here from Kitjitsu. Apparently, Synergy are just allergic to corners. Are their practice strats just straight circles? As now a 4v1 is in our hands. While 619 have found 3 bodies in a row with no response. Dry finally cleaning out his drought and finding his first of the map. The question is, can he build off on it? Because you have 13 seconds to make that swift answer. Mira, looking to make matters worse for yourself. You'll land some damage, but you'll take more as the defenders emerge victorious for the 3rd round in a row as they grow their lead to 2. Karaoke and T, it's been 3 rounds since they've last won it, allowing them to play it again. If it just gets better from here, if it's more progressive, then these guys are in for a rough attacking half. Are you up for the task, Synergy? You now are starting to dig yourself in a hole that might not be achievable to dig yourself back out of if you allow this advantage to be dropped on your head. If that deficit goes to 4 rounds or maybe even 5, we're going to be looking at a very fast stream, a very fast scoreline, and a very one-sided affair. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys excited to see what 619 have in their hands for this round? The question is Synergy prepared for it? Because now this pressure is being built up. And we can't find it. Your regular fraggers. Pax Massa not showing up. Adexi barely clinging on to be the first man that's positive. But the question is barely positive enough to be able to cinch in a comeback when you're down to 2? I know people like to say that a realistic lead is by a couple of rounds, but when it's such a one-sided affair, you're seeing the utility being used by particularly one side. The shield op's been first pick now 3 rounds in a row. It is always going to be a one-sided affair. This is an advantage you have to build back from. Adexi and Dry team up to find 2 picks to be able to level it, but now you've lost 2 bodies in a matter of a minute before you even address the site. You are only in the house area right now. You walk in through Shrine, you still have that shield to deal with, and yet again, you don't have the Ash. Oh, you're gonna have to try to just launch in a Selma. You just have to be careful not to get your head chopped off, but Dry's up for that task as a Selma will take care of the shield, and Dry will take care of the head, but not before Kit will relieve the pressure from the terrace side. F not delaying matters of events in Dragon while they wait to capitalize upon that. Warden, little bit of Twinkle Toes' bullet ballet in his hands, but he'll get taken out eventually. Kitjitsu 1v2, and can you continue your team's win streak? One man is very low, and it's very luckily the man with the diffuser, and you've taken out the person at full HP. Still a continuous game of ring around the rosy, but Lidocaine gives his team the fighting spirit. barely cinches on. Synergy clinging on for dear life in that round as they threw away a 2-body lead, as now they've closed out that deficit to 1 and they're on their last attacking round. It just looks like a broken record at this point. I mean, next round would have been the buffer that would have allowed them to unlock that site, which would have been the name of Exhibition. But as of now, they're going to go right back to Tier Room, and I don't blame them, honestly. It's not that they lost it in a pure overwhelming state of utility. You won your preliminary gunfight. You took care of the pressure coming in from the extended areas. You just couldn't find that final nail in the coffin, and relying on one man to be able to do it. He got it down to a 1v1. He managed to almost find it, but again, leaving up that clutch factor isn't always realistic to be able to expect to win. So they'll be able to try one more time to try to win it here before they'll switch on to attack. A 4-2 is the hopeful scoreline for 619, and Synergy just need to hope to God they can walk away with a tie. Verticality, I mean, it's Siege 101 packs. Come on, I know you know how this match and how this map specifically is played. Verticality is such a big aspect, especially in these tricky rooms where there's not much flex room to be able to adapt to its setup. You know exactly what could be lethal, and a drone could have avoided the damage that you've taken, as now it's Pax to use his Twitch drone, try to find any Vulcans to take care of, and Adexi to take the damage from the mudroom. I think I got the two mixed up, but it's okay. We live and learn. Lido King looking to capitalize. Vulcan has been shot out, but Lido gets stunned by his own teammate, and Goyo's going to be long gone before he will swing around that house corner. Masamitsu looking to address that site window. And a little bit of a psychopath, if I do say so myself. A shield on a window, I've never seen that end up well. Now, a little bit creative. You're using the Scopos for a shield. What happens when it gets taken care of, though? But apparently that's not something that's realistic, as Adexi takes care of the man who's sitting behind him, and Mastad reels it back in, finds 1 and 2, as now that's the fighting spirit we know and love from 619. That's 2 bodies and make it a 3rd, as Lido, Adexi, and Pax meet their maker. One more to try to address House and Shrine, but Mastad gets shut out with a fighting spirit. Refrag instantly from Chris, leaving Masamitsu on the external of Geisha all by his lonesome. Vulcans will burn below 90 seconds. The kid is loose. I mean, the situation couldn't get worse than this. It was here last I saw Skype clutch a 1v4 with Monsi, but it looks like Masamitsu doesn't have that surprise in his card, as the F-Nut and the bearing pressure of all 3 defenders circling like sharks will be enough to take care of you, as now a 4-2 is enough for the scoreline to go and tilt in the favor of 619, as they'll head on over to attack. But in the meantime, it looks like a tech pause is going to be the name of the game. I mean, absolute cinema. It's played perfectly. You have 619 building on every single opportunity, and from there they evaluate what they want to do. They'll start off shoddy. They'll look to address one side of the map. They realize it's not going to work, so they'll switch it up. You have your individual clutch factor players. You have your players who will sit in sight. You'll have everybody who knows exactly what their role is. Chris used his Scopos robot to be able to set flat a deployable shield because of how fast that shield got taken care of. But despite that happening, they lost a preliminary gunfight on Shrine. But off of that, Mastad swung out, took care of the man sitting behind that dragon statue, and swung out to take care of the other man walking in from VIP. I mean, it's just a continuation of having to play like a team, and the continuous adaptation of how you're playing on this map that makes you that better team. Who's willing to adapt? And right now, it's just that narrative. It's the favor of 619. The only dominant round I can say I saw from Synergy was that first one. They were in the building, they got the plant down, they controlled Geisha once they realized all of the defenders were focused on the other side of the map. Played beautifully, but the question is, are you going to call a timeout? Are you going to reel it back in? It is a BO1, and I haven't seen many console teams call timeouts in best of 1s or best of 3s in that matter. But you don't have an intermission between maps. This basically is the only chance you get, and it's lucky because somebody DC'd. But while we keep our final thoughts in our heads, do a jumping jack, grab a refresh, and we'll be back in 2 minutes if I'm not mistaken. No pauses is the name of the game, and I mean, Siege is a grueling esports scene, and you just gotta get with the biscuits, my friend. As now SinoTwtch, despite going down 2 rounds, are now gonna have to deal with the fact that they will be down a man because of whatever happened. Power went out, I think, and that's a technical difficulty, but nobody cares, and we get on because this is a group stage match. So many interesting things seen at that halftime, and I was always talking in the earlier stage of this map, whoever is able to build up their aggression, whoever is able to play as a team, will walk away to the half with the momentum in their hands, regardless of what side they're on. I don't care if this is a defensive sided map. If you're walking away with a 4-2 or a 5-1 lead, you have learned the ways of the other team. Unless a comeback is imminent with 4, SinoTwtch given an absolute problem to have to deal with. As now, the current aggression from 619 seems to only just charge up. Asjed, forgetting how the map works, looking to vault into the shingles, but a double run out here. Blackbeard capitalizes, almost a disaster, but Masamitsu just can't take care of business. And I mean, I feel like an F forfeit is going to be in our hands quite soon, as everybody is leaving, or we're gonna force a rehost. And I don't think we can rehost mid-game, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken. Used out dry, fighting in packs as well. They try their best, and it looks like this is either a forfeit or a rehost. I have no idea which one it is yet. I have no word, no correspondent yet, but now dry still looking to clutch out. You were left in this situation before. The question is, are you going to be up to the task to be able to adapt towards it? Isolate the gunfights with the shield ops. He knows what to do and how to do it, but you have to be able to do so before Vipex is there to assist. For that, it'll just be, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Mesjed's going to be the pariah you focus on while that flank goes down, regardless of what you try to do. And now T-Room is going to become an absolute problem to deal with. 20 HP, below 20 HP even, and now it is a problem. Vipex capitalized in 619, emerged victorious, and I don't even know at this point. I don't even know what we're looking at. This is going to be quite an interesting scenario because they can't rejoin and they're asking for a reschedule. Are these guys okay? We're 8 rounds in. I mean, this is only the group stages and the earlier stages, so this is going to be cooked, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see what I can bring back to you as fast as I can. Jesus Christ. as it stands, ladies and gentlemen, below an hour, right below the mark. I mean, absolutely depressing. That marks the end of the stream. It will be forfeit due to bullshit. Yeah, no, I said it. I try to remain professional at all times, but that was just straight bullshit. 30 minutes of the stream was probably a waiting screen. I apologize to the viewers. I hope you guys did enjoy my casting. I mean, for the 8 rounds we got to do it. Make sure to leave a like, a follow, a like. What am I talking about? If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and a subscription. If you guys are on Twitch, make sure to follow. And my Twitter DMs alongside with my Discord DMs are always open for feedback. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys in the next one, which should be tomorrow, 5 a.m. sharp. OEC, we're giving out R6 credits on Sunday. We'll be back.